everybody. Bottom of the Barrel, episode
19.
19. Holy crap, it's almost time for our 20th anniversary special. Grand Spectacular. Starring Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Aniston.
Norm MacDonald.
Dave Chappelle.
Rob Schneider. Wait, no.
Rob Schneider's cousin. I couldn't really get any lower.
No, I couldn't think of anybody lower. Wow, that would be awesome. I hope they don't cancel on us. We have yet to get a cancellation, so we assume they will all be here.
Yeah, I think it's all a go.
So what's happened with you since the last we spoke, Jermaine?
Not much. Not much. You know, just another day, kicking it like I do, being sexy.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to put that in my drink.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I almost spit it up.
You know you agree, Matt.
Yeah, you know. So I was watching Letterman the other day, which I never do, but Howard Stern was on it, and he asked him he said that I've heard that you and Leno are talking on the phone now, and Letterman said that they have spoken on the phone, and Stern was like, what the hell? I'm defending you against this schmuck, and now you're friends with him again.
Which, you know, it's been over 20 years of Stern just bashing Leno. And at some point, when does that become pathetic? Because to me, it's pathetic every time he brings him up.
Yeah.
And I know Jay is the guy everyone loves to hate. And, you know, again...
He's an easy target.
Some of the hatred, you know, you understand because of the Conan thing. But a lot of it's just because it's what people do.
Yeah. And even we talked about it probably at the time because we like Conan better, and we think Conan kind of got screwed.
Yeah.
And but now it's almost kind of coming the other way. Not that I think Leno's a great guy because he still did all that.
Yeah. But
now Leno's getting kind of screwed, and you could say, oh, well, he deserves it. But I think it's making him look a little more sympathetic. I don't know. As much as a multi-millionaire can.
I think for as much as we, at least this is from my viewing, for as much as we dislike what Leno did to Conan, NBC made a huge mistake because Leno was killing it.
Yeah.
They forced him off, and then things didn't go as they planned with Conan. And that's not a fault of Conan. That's just more so.
Your new show, it takes a while.
Yeah. It happened to Leno when he first came on, but NBC wasn't willing to stick it out because their network has been so bad for so long now that they didn't want to ruin one of the really good things that they had. So they brought Leno back, and it turns out it worked.
Yeah.
He's doing well, and they're going to do it again, and you just have a feeling that Fallon's not going to work, and they're going to want Leno back. What does Leno do this time? Does he give him the big FU?
Yeah, I think so. Or he's going to go to another network.
See, and that to me would be hilarious if he goes, excuse me, if he goes to Fox and they do a late night program and blows them out of the water.
And he probably would still beat everybody.
I think that would be hilarious because NBC would be kicking themselves.
But it will be interesting because Fallon is beating Letterman in that key demographic they all care about. Even now, with Fallon's on later and Letterman's on sooner, Fallon's already getting better numbers. So when they're head to head, you just assume
Fallon's gonna win.
Fallon's gonna kick his ass. But I don't know that Fallon has that much competition. Mm-hmm. He's got Letterman, who's his ratings kind of suck right now. Actually, when you think about Letterman and you think about what he gets paid and who he is, he's this icon. His ratings aren't that great.
Well, I think you called it though. The last time we talked about it, you said it seems like he's sleepwalking through a show. And I think people are picking up on that. I mean, there's nothing interesting coming from that. Whereas, you know, Fallon's got that bubbly personality and people seem to gel well with him. Regardless of if it's a good interview or not, it looks like everybody's having fun. Like, I've never watched one of his shows, but I've seen clips and it looks like they're having a blast. Like, you know, it's not even a job to any of the people there.
No, he realizes what he has, and he realizes this is awesome, and everybody's having fun. Where when you watch Letterman, it's kind of like, oh gosh, I got to do this again. When is this going to be over?
Right. Like he can't wait to go play golf.
Right. And Norm Macdonald has a great impression of Letterman, where one of the best parts of the entire impression is as soon as his show's over and Letterman says goodnight, he immediately takes his jacket off. And that was Norm's, one of Norm's things that only he ever picked up. I've never seen a Letterman impression except for Norm's that anybody picked that up, where Letterman would immediately take his jacket off like, I'm better than this. See you later. It's a subtle thing, but it was pretty cool. But that's just the impression I've gotten for years from Letterman, that he's like, oh my God, just give me a check.
I don't deny it. Again, I don't really watch it that much, but you hear people saying the same thing, that it's not as good as it used to be, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, which happens when someone's been on TV that long.
Forever. Well, I got into a little discussion, debate on YouTube of all things, because...
Do tell.
It was some video. Oh, it was a video of Letterman interviewing Carson, or the other way around. Carson interviewing Letterman, and Carson saying, it was right after they announced Leno got the Tonight Show, and Letterman was friends with Carson, and Carson famously said, how pissed off are you? And Letterman said, oh, I'm not pissed off, I'm friends with Jay, blah, 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 which we know is pretty much lying.
Right.
But so all these comments under the video were, oh, NBC made a huge mistake, Letterman's so much better, blah, blah, blah. And I said, say what you want about Leno, but how can you say they made a mistake? Because Leno
has destroyed him.
What's that?
He's destroyed him head to head constantly.
He's destroyed him for years. Not at the very beginning.
Right.
But ever since the Hugh Grant interview, he's never lost. And that was years ago. And he's beating him by 51% in that key demographic everybody cares about. I mean, 51 is huge.
I just think it's it's cool to say you like Letterman, that type of thing.
Yeah, it's the cool thing. And it's cool to bag on Leno. I've bagged on Leno. But you can't say at that time, and they've made a million mistakes since then, but that's one time you can look at NBC and say they made the right decision.
Yeah.
Because say what you want about Leno, but he's figured out a way to do a show that people want to watch. And even young people want to watch. Because young people are watching Leno way more than they're watching Letterman, even though if you ask anybody, they'll say, oh, Letterman's the cool one. But they're all watching Leno.
Exactly. And they'll say, well, and you hear it for years. You've heard it for years. Well, Leno gets better guests because he's in California. Well, yeah, I mean that's just the way it is. It's definitely a benefit, but it's more than just that.
No, it's more just that, because I've never thought of Letterman. People love to do his show. It's not, Leno gets them the night before, but Letterman's still getting the same people.
Right.
And I don't know, I just think it's, and another point somebody made was, oh, but it's just the brand. Leno's only popular because it's the Tonight Show brand. I think that's BS. I don't think that Tonight Show brand means anything anymore.
It's very BS, especially nowadays where you don't need, and since we've gotten into the whole stand-up comedy thing, we've heard stand-up comedians say that the Tonight Show doesn't carry the weight that it used to. Being on the Tonight Show back in the day would put you over. Now it doesn't even matter. You don't need the Tonight Show.
Just for regular viewers, I just don't think, if it's all about the brand, why did Conan struggle when he took over?
Right.
Why did Leno struggle when he took over? Hey, people forget, but Carson struggled when he took over. And people just think Carson's the first guy, but he wasn't. And when he came on, people were like, we don't like this guy as much as the guy before him. And then he became a legend.
Right.
But he did it. I mean, he kind of made the Tonight Show into this cool, it's an iconic, legendary show. But as soon as he left, I don't think that was true anymore, because it was all Carson.
Right.
And it's always the personality. So it's always going to be, I don't watch any late show and say, I'm going to watch the Tonight Show tonight. I say, I'm going to watch Letterman or I'm going to watch Leno. I mean, I don't care what the title of the show is.
I honestly, it makes me laugh because people constantly say, oh, I hate Leno, I like Letterman. And I'm like, really? Because how often do you watch it? And they're like, well, I don't watch it all the time. I'm like, yeah, you just say what everyone else says. In our conversation, does that mean you're a pretty cool person? It's the hip and trendy thing to do, even though it's been over 20-something years. Uh-oh, we may have lost Matt. We're not getting any sound.
I don't know what that was.
And we're back. So know what you were saying.
But yeah, if Letterman was doing the same show now that he was doing when he did the Late Show about 25 years ago, people would have an argument. But he hasn't done that show in forever.
Right.
Where he used to do cool things and go out on the street and think of cool little clever things. Now he just sits back behind his desk and acts grumpy.
Yeah. So, what else is going on? Any movies that, or past movies that are in your mind, or?
Past movies.
I'm just throwing topics out, dog.
Well, I know your favorite Sound of Music spot people want to watch soon because it's Thanksgiving. And I know how you have to watch it every year.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
A good one.
Are you going to watch the version with Carrie Underwood? The live version? It's live. Anything can happen.
First of all, could
probably will.
Could care less about it regardless. I care even less about it because of Carrie Underwood. Because I have no reason to even like her.
Well, that's harsh, man.
Well, I mean, I don't hate her. So that's a little bit better, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's better? Carrie Underwood or Kelly Clarkson? Did you lose me? Or are you thinking? If
I have to say lesser of two evils, Kelly Clarkson is better.
Lesser of two evils? Kelly Clarkson is a national treasure. What is wrong
That's
with you?
in your mind.
I'm just very happy for her. She's married and pregnant.
Good for her.
Yep.
And it's supposedly, what's the other chick's name?
Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, that's the one. He's sleeping with Brad Paisley. Well,
is Carrie Underwood isn't she married?
Yeah, that's the new. So is Brad Paisley.
Ooh, and that's the rumor?
Yeah.
It's hot topics on bottom of the barrel.
Because I was reading where his wife was like, that's news to me. I'm like, isn't it always? You'd be the last person to know. I'm not saying he is or they are or they aren't. I'm just saying that's the new hot rumor.
I just tend to agree that all rumors are true. Because it's too much trouble to weed out truth from fact. Or fiction.
Again, I said it last podcast. I'll say it again. To quote Colin Quinn, I don't give a care. All right, let's play a game of what show will be canceled next.
All right, give me some ones to choose from.
All right, let me pull up a list here. We'll start with some NBC shows. Shawn Saves the World.
Shawn, okay. What am against what?
Do you think it's going to get canceled? Do you think it's going to get renewed? Do you give it a second season?
I think it gets a second season. What do you think?
I think it's going to get a second season, even though it probably doesn't deserve it. This is the same network that gave Whitney multiple seasons, so There's no way they're not going to give Sean Hayes.
They got rid of Whitney, right?
Yeah, they're gonna give Sean Hayes another season, and if they cancel it, I'll be like, holy crap! All right, Michael J. Fox show. What do you think?
They give it a second season.
I think they have to. Of course, they're not doing it any favors by the time slot they put it in, but I think it deserves it. I think it based on watching it, it deserves a second season.
Cool.
Let's see. Sticking with NBC shows. I don't even know what that is, but apparently the ratings are good enough. Dracula.
I say yes.
I have no idea, so I'm just gonna give it a yes too.
The only thing I've heard about that, I think they said the first episode was actually quite good, and then all the rest is stunk.
Wow.
I could be wrong. I say it gets another one, because people love, even though they say they don't, people still love vampires. You can throw anything with a vampire out there, and somebody's going to watch it.
All right. The tracker says more likely to be canceled than renewed, but we'll see.
Uh-oh, I could be wrong.
Well, see, it also says Shawn Saves the World is certain to be canceled. But again, this is their projections. Michael J. Fox show is more likely to be canceled than renewed. So I just think based on the fact that it's Sean Hayes and Michael J. Fox, and then, the network is gonna have a little more faith in them, in my opinion.
Maybe so.
But who knows? Stranger things have happened. All right, let's move on to Fox. Dads.
Dads? What are I think the ratings aren't very good.
No.
I say it gets canceled. The critics hate it. The ratings suck. I know it's somehow associated with Seth MacFarlane, so I guess that gives it a chance. It probably has some kind of little cult following, but it just looks horrible. I've never wanted to watch it.
I agree with you. I think the fact that it's Fox and they haven't canceled it means they have faith in Seth MacFarlane, but I don't see it making it past this season. Let's see. I don't have too many that's on the bubble. The only other one is Raising Hope, which I'd hate if they cancel it, but it's gonna get canceled because they gave it a death slot.
It seems like, they only just brought it back, didn't they? It did the kind of like...
And then they put it on Friday night.
What is it up again?
It's Friday night. It's the worst night ever to have a TV show. Like, ABC found lightning in a bottle in the mid-90s. Or was it late 80s, early 90s with their... what was it? TGIF, that run, because it was all family shows. And it was just,
Full House and all that crap.
All those shows that, you can watch with your little kids and stuff, and that was just money. But nothing since then has worked on Friday night. Friday night has been the night of death for a sitcom. That's usually when you show sitcom reruns now.
I think that'll get canceled. And it's probably the best of what we've just mentioned.
Yeah.
I know it is, actually.
I watched the first 2 episodes of this season, and I was like, this show deserves better.
Yeah.
It's freaking hilarious, but again, they're setting it up to fail. But it looks like, everything else is looking pretty good for Fox.
What else do they have that's new?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is, I think the ratings keep going up on that one.
Really?
Yeah. They said it went up so much that they took the Mindy Project off and put Brooklyn Nine-Nine in its spot.
Which I would prefer Mindy Project, but
Agreed. I haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but apparently it's gotten this late push. It started slow, but it's picking up steam now. Let's see. Let's hit up ABC, see what they got. The Neighbors.
Is that the Aliens one?
Yes.
Every time I see 2 seconds of that, I have to turn it. It just looks so stupid.
I watched 1 episode. Canceled.
But I'm surprised this lasted this long.
Yeah, I think this is the second season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which annoys me that they brought that show back and put Suburgatory on the shelf.
Suburgatory is way better.
It's not even close. Betrayal. I don't even know what that is.
Betrayal. I don't know. Since I don't know what it is, I say cancel.
Me too. Once Upon a Lifetime.
Once Upon a Lifetime?
A life, sorry. Once Upon a Time.
Wait, what?
Once Upon a Time.
Oh, Once Upon a Time. I think that does pretty good, doesn't it?
Apparently not this season.
There's 2 shows that are almost the same. There's Once Upon a Time and another one.
It's on a different network, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 2 that are
Was it that Grimm show?
Yeah, Grimm or whatever.
I thought did that one get canceled?
Oh, maybe they both. They came out at the same time, I'm pretty sure. And I always got them confused.
Yeah, they look the same. But that one, I know the first season seemed like they blew it out of the water, and it was getting all this critical acclaim, and ratings were well, but apparently this season, not so much. It's on the certain to be canceled list.
Oh, I will say it's certain to be canceled.
I agree. One that's kind of funny to me, I still haven't seen an episode, and I remember my mom told me she liked it, was Last Man Standing.
Who's in that?
It's the Tim Allen show.
I've literally seen maybe 30 seconds of that, and I was like, eh. She liked it?
Yeah, she liked it a lot. But it's apparently doing well. It's,
His wife, I can't say her name right now, but the woman that plays his wife shows up in a sitcom all the time.
Well, she used to be in movies all the time, too.
Yeah, and then she was in Becker. She was his girlfriend, replacing the one I preferred, the hotter one they got rid of. Potential love interest, Reggie.
Okay, gotcha. The chick from Star Trek.
Yeah, but she always, is it Nancy Travis, I think's her name?
Yeah, that's it. She was in Internal Affairs.
She's like,
she was like Jeff Foxworthy's wife on his sitcom.
Yeah, somebody loves her.
Yeah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think ABC in general will cast her in any show as the mother.
I think if she's just like, oh, I'm got another show canceled. I'll have one again next season.
Yeah.
She doesn't sweat it.
I think she was the mother on what's that guy? Bill Engvall. I think she was the mother on his show too.
Oh my gosh! So like,
now I gotta
Dollar Tour was just passing her around.
I gotta know for sure now. Oh man, because I remember like I think after I watched Internal Affairs, I'm like that's the lady that shows up on every TV show. And I was like, dang, she was in a lot of movies for a while.
She was on the Bill Engvall show. Yeah.
I knew it.
You know who else was on the Bill Engvall show?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yep.
Which is you like what?
Yep, the daughter on Bill Engvall.
Holy crap.
Numbers. These are probably just
that might
few.
be.
Let's see.
She did 2 episodes of Desperate Housewives.
Heart of Dixie.
She was on a sitcom with Kevin Pollak. Work With Me. He got like 9 episodes.
To me, she is the female version of Kevin Pollak. It's like she's kind of good, but not really.
Who was kind of in that movie Truth or Consequences, New Mexico?
Oh my
god. You know, and I knew when I started that movie it was going to be disappointing, but I just had to watch it just to know. Because who's the star of the movie? Vincent Gallo.
Oh.
Who directed the movie? And who's in the movie? Kiefer Sutherland.
What was the name of it again?
Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
And you said you liked it?
No. I said it was mediocre. And forgettable.
What else has Kiefer Sutherland ever directed? Is that the only one?
I know that was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that.
Oh yeah, Nancy Travis was in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yep.
The Vanishing, which I saw.
Yep.
3 Men and a Little Lady.
Yep.
Air America.
I didn't see that one.
Internal Affairs. Yeah, she had a run there.
Yeah.
8 Men Out, Married to the Mob, 3 Men and a Baby. She was like,
yep.
She's always been that lady that you're like, I know you.
Dude, the minute after I watched Internal Affairs, I'm like, I have to look her up because I see her in everything.
And she's good. She's just not. I mean, she's fine. But actually, when I saw that she was playing Tim Allen's wife, my reaction was, can't they find somebody new? It was actually one of the reasons I didn't really want to watch it.
See, it was more so that I just had no interest in Tim Allen anymore.
Yeah.
Now, he's directed some other stuff, but none major. He directed a TV movie first, and he directed some movie called Woman Wanted. Oh, wait, he starred in it, too. Shocking.
Interesting.
And I think that's all for his directing. So that may have been his first, feature. It wasn't an independent movie, but still.
Gosling's directing a movie he wrote that's coming out next year.
Is he?
Yeah. I don't even think he's in it. I could be wrong about that, but I think he directed it, and it's not in it. And it sounds really kind of strange, which
fits.
So it could go either way. I could love it, or
I know he definitely likes strange characters.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily strange, but
he makes different choices, which is one of the things I like.
No, I respect him for it. I think he, the more out there it is, the more he likes it, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to be Channing Tatum?
Nobody.
I take his paycheck, but he makes shitty movies.
And how is Adam Levine the sexiest man alive?
I fucking hate that dude. Excuse my language, folks. The thing is, you would think Maroon 5 is the Beatles, the way Adam Levine acts. I mean, this is a band that people mostly forgot about until he did The Voice. But, since he's done this freaking TV show that's a hit, he has become the most obnoxious prick that I can think of in music in a long time.
Yeah.
Just like, music begins and ends with him. He's got, just that whole thing with the that one bar in LA that a lot of famous bands played at when they were small and then became huge and went back and played there. I want to say it was the Whiskey A Go Go.
Okay.
But he played a show there not too long ago and complained that he didn't have a dressing room and blah blah blah. And their whole thing was like they don't, they're a small venue. They don't really have dressing rooms. You play, it is what it is, But he expected something that they don't normally do or haven't done for anybody, and everyone's constantly known that. So he went on. I guess he went on the air, did this interview, and said, I will never play there. Maroon 5 will never play there again. They treated us like dirt, blah blah blah. So the place didn't really, say anything or do anything, but they put on their marquee like the next day, Mr. Levine, your dressing room's ready. Kind of like, hey, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah. Well, and if it's a very famous place, which if that's the name of it, it is, because I've heard of it. And obviously people play there all the time that are famous and don't expect what he expects, I guess.
That's what's funny to me, because bands like Van Halen have gone back and played, and I think they were playing. I think Michelle Branch was there at the same time, and she was like, "Yeah, everything was fine. I don't really understand that whole deal."
Yeah, I don't. There's just something, and maybe it's not completely fair, but there's something about him. I just think, wow, that guy's a douche.
Dude. And it's funny because I never really thought much about him before, but since he landed this TV show,
I've always thought Maroon 5 was awful, but it's been around that time and they've made like a resurgence, and it's all just because of him. And
I'll say I like that one album they put out, and it was like 10 years ago. I thought it was solid, but not enough for me to be like, this band is awesome.
Right.
Because the minute they put out the album after that, I was like, yeah, they suck. Because it was awesome.
Do we need another Train? I mean,
no.
Just mediocre band that keeps plugging along, and people still love them, and they're just doing nothing but mediocre music year after year.
Pain in the ass.
And Ryan Gosling's movie next year is called How to Catch a Monster. It's a fantasy neo-noir, written, produced, and directed by Ryan Gosling, starring Christina Hendricks. I guess they hit it off after Drive.
Probably.
Matt Smith, Ciaris Ronan. Probably said that wrong.
It's okay.
And his apparent, or still rumored to be girlfriend, Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
He's not in it. And now, here's the synopsis. If anybody else is attached to this, I'd be like, what the hell?
Your man, Chris Van Gogh.
Right, and I'm like, but Gosling's doing it might be interesting. A single mother enters into a dark lifestyle while her son uncovers a road leading to an underwater utopia. It's when it says underwater that I get scared.
Yeah. But again, I mean, he's such an interesting dude, and he's a solid actor. He can make a shitty movie interesting.
Yeah, I'm hoping he can do the same as a director.
And that's why you give him the leap of faith, where you trust
it'll probably be more or less critically panned, but a cult classic.
Yeah, I mean, you guarantee that.
What I'm predicting, knowing nothing about it except looking it up on Wikipedia.
That's funny. Did you see that Madonna was in Michigan recently?
No, what was she up to?
I guess her daughter's looking at the University of Michigan.
Okay.
And people were tweeting pictures of how certain areas were shut down, and that she was at the music department.
Uh-huh.
So apparently your daughter's into music. Shocking. Because people were like, oh, I just saw Madonna walk into the music department. Like, woohoo.
And everybody that's in that music department, and Madonna has her place, but everybody in that music department is probably a better musician than she is.
Well, yeah.
As hey Madonna. Can you do a lecture on how to make it big in music? Sure. Step 1, be a whore. What's step 2? That's all I got.
That's all you need.
It worked for me.
Yeah, but I saw that and thought that was kind of funny. I don't know. I thought it was an odd choice.
Yeah, but she's from Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think they wouldn't be good enough.
So I don't even look at it like that. I just look at it like it's her daughter. She's probably spoiled, obnoxious. Right. Why not hang around an area that allows you to be spoiled and obnoxious, like UCLA?
Yeah.
I'm not hating. I'd go to UCLA in a heartbeat if I got a scholarship.
Yeah.
But
she probably doesn't need a scholarship.
No, but I'm saying for her, she can be spoiled and obnoxious, live in a mom's mansion, go to class when she wants to, decides to quit, and, become an actress.
It's probably a pretty good deal to be Madonna's daughter.
I'm sure. I don't think money's ever an issue for you. You wonder how Tori Spelling effed up that situation.
Oh, that's insane. I still don't really believe that. Where she said she's broke. Is her dad around, or did he die?
He died a while ago.
So maybe she blew out her inheritance? That would be crazy.
Nah. I don't know that she got a big inheritance.
Really?
Because there were I know a lady that was a pretty big fan, watched her show and everything, and was saying how since the dude was he was big shit in Hollywood and never had to worry about money and whatnot, that his idea of what he thought she could live off wasn't matching the type of money that she spends.
Right.
So he just gave her an amount of money, which, like you said, she probably did blow through it already.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the amount of money you would expect.
I don't know. It just kind of makes me sick. And I hate to sound judgmental, but you see so many people struggling, and I could maybe put myself in that category sometimes. But I mean, the economy's not good.
No.
So many people are struggling, and you have this person that's handed, here, never want for anything forever. Just don't blow it. Just don't be an idiot about what you spend. And of course, she was an idiot about it.
Yeah, it's someone who, even though she says she has no money, is still going on these expensive vacations and doing all this.
So she still probably does have money. It's just, to her standards, I'm broke.
Right.
I only can go on 8 vacations a year now. But, which is, again, kind of offensive.
But she's claiming it's all based on the TV show. They're paying for it.
What do you mean?
It's it's not her money, it's the TV show's money.
Oh, it's taking her.
Yeah.
Does she get some kind of residuals for those TV shows she did?
You would think so, but I don't know. I don't know what to believe in that whole situation. It just sounds kind of hokey to me. I don't mean... I honestly don't even know if he left or anything, because I think it all went to her mother.
No.
So I don't know what that situation was like. If her mother was like,
maybe he just did a thing of, apparently Warren, I don't know if this is true, but apparently Warren Buffett, who's, the third richest person in the world, is going to leave all his kids $1 million. And you think, wow, $1 million, that's great, but he's worth, like $30 billion. So $1 million's like what he has in his wallet.
Yeah, literally.
And his quote on it is, if they can't make it off $1 million, then the hell with them, kind of, And there's a guy that does that show, which is actually kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, Shark Tank. Have you ever watched that?
I'm sorry, Shark Tank?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was reading. We watched it together.
There was a guy on that show. Somebody did a profile on him because they're all hugely successful business people, and he said that he's not gonna leave his kids any money or give them any money except for their education. He said as far as they want to go with education, he'll pay for all of that. If they want to get their doctorate, he'll pay for it. But as soon as they stop going to school, he's not giving them a cent. Which is...
You saw that's what Bill Gates said, that his kids will get $10 million each. And, we're like, $10 million? But, I mean, it's Bill Gates.
Right.
They'll get $10 million apiece, and the rest will go to charity. And, everyone's like, man, $10 million's still a lot. I was like, yeah, but I said, you got to think of how they're living now. That $10 million will be a slap in the face for them. Like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I got to make some changes. And you would think, that would be enough, but I'm sure they're like, come on, Dad.
Well, just imagine, though, if we were given $10 million, we'd be, ecstatic.
It'd look like a Puff Daddy video.
They're going to be like, oh, my God, I've got to make some changes.
Yeah. I can no longer have 6 mansions. I got to go to 1.
They're going to be so sad because they're so poor.
Oh, my God. Because, I mean, that's the thing that I always tell people, like, oh, that's $10 million. I'm like, $10 million for you and I is like, we did it. $10 million for them is like, Dad hates me.
Yeah, why don't you love me?
But yeah, again, this is Wikipedia, so believe what you will. But it says that when Tori Spelling's dad died in 2006, she was anticipated to inherit a sizable portion of her father's $500 million estate. The estate was to be divided primarily between Spelling, her brother, and her mother. But her mother was the estate executor, and she and Tori were estranged. So it says Tori and her brother each inherited $800,000.
Wow.
Mom
I guess
was
he
like,
was estranged from the son, too.
Mom was like, screw y'all.
You better make sure you don't become estranged until later, excuse you.
But it says Randy was not estranged, but Mom still said screw you.
I'd be pissed if I was Randy. I'd be yelling at Tori.
Now it says that her mom established a $10 million trust fund for her oldest child.
Who is child?
Tori Spelling's oldest child.
So there's a trust fund?
Yeah.
So when did she get that?
I don't know.
You'd think she'd have it because she's in her 30s at least, if not 40 by now.
Well, Tori Spelling's oldest kid?
Oh, Tori Spelling's
oldest. Yeah, okay. It's for her grandchild.
Okay, I got
It's not for Tori.
Yeah, that's where you confused me.
Sorry.
That's that. That's all right. She's gonna have to kiss up to her own daughter.
Yeah, Mom said, F you guys.
You better not punish me, Mom. You're not getting any of my money.
But that makes you wonder, though, like, how much of an uncontrollable brat Tori Spelling must have been for her mom to be like, no.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure she was blowing through their money, and Dad probably could never say no to her, and Mom was like, I'll say no.
But she didn't get that part on that TV show because of her dad. She really auditioned on her own.
Yeah, right.
It had nothing to do with anything.
You can't. I'd like to see her say that with a straight face.
I can't believe she... See, I'd respect the person who was like, well, yeah, I got it because of my dad.
Yeah.
Have you seen me? I'm kind of strange looking.
Like, I wouldn't even... Like, they wouldn't even have to say that to me. Like, if they were just like, yeah... I mean,
yeah,
it's my dad's show.
Everybody needs needs someone on the inside. I've got someone on the inside. I use it to my advantage.
Yeah, and like, and look what my dad did for me. He made me the character that was the virgin the longest.
All right.
Don't you think that's kind of weird, though? It's like, I won't have my daughter being sullied on camera.
Apparently she's being sullied off it constantly.
I don't think any of us are shocked by that.
I'm a virgin, but I have fake boobs. And much plastic surgery.
Oh, man. Well, he was like, I want my daughter on the show. She can't be a slutty character. They're like, doesn't art imitate life?
Like, but you're Aaron Spelling. Your whole career is based off slutty characters. That's gonna be difficult.
I mean, come on. You created Charlie's Angel.
Your famous show was The Love Boat, and the doctor was... Well, the whole premise of it is everybody screwing each other on that boat. But it's the early 80s and you don't really say it. But everyone knows.
He's the same guy who had Fantasy Island as well.
Yeah.
But things are different on the island. Did he put his daughter on Fantasy Island as well? He put her on The Love Boat. She was on T.J. Hooker. Oh, man. Oh, crap. I forgot she was on Saved by the Bell. Uh-oh. I think you're unplugged again. And we're back.
That's so weird, but okay. Yeah, she was Screech's girlfriend on Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Uh-oh. You're gone again.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Now you're back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now you're back. Technical difficulties on Matt's side. That's what he gets for being new to... you're gone again.
I'm not saying anything. How do you know?
Okay. I thought you were talking.
No. The last two times, I think he was suing me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I bothering you by trying to do this podcast while you're relaxing?
No, I just listened to you talking. It's gone again. Like, wait, what have I done?
Oh, man. You're making my stomach hurt.
Jermaine's gone again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, he's back.
I just struck a nerve, folks. Matt's getting upset. Oh man. All right. Let's see. Give me a TV show that you watched that you liked, and maybe most people didn't like it, or it was kind of weird that people would be kind of shocked that you like it. It doesn't have to be new; it could be old.
Shocked that I liked it.
Yeah, because it's something that's either critically panned or universally panned. It's a tough question because I'm trying to think of one myself.
Well, I'll tell you one that wasn't critically panned, but people are surprised I liked it.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't. It could be anything like that. I'm just throwing stuff out there to kind of help.
I really liked My So-Called Life, that Claire Danes show that was on for like 12 episodes.
Yeah, critics love that show.
Yeah, critics loved it. It didn't even last the full season, I don't think.
That's because she sabotaged it.
She did?
Yeah.
Well, I think whatever.
She wanted out, and that's what people on the show claim.
Really?
That, she wanted to make movies and that she kind of went out of her way to get out of her deal.
Well...
Now, don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just everything that I've read.
Really? Well, I mean, you might be right.
She wanted out, and that's why that show didn't really make it.
But I really liked it. And it's a kind of a cult, whenever you're on not even a full season, it's kind of a cult classic, I guess you'd call it.
Right.
But I got an argument with my wife and her friend and me were in a car recently.
Really? That's amazing.
Are you gonna let me finish this story?
I don't know. I didn't really understand why the car thing.
Oh, we were going somewhere. I guess it's not important.
Sorry.
Trying to set this.
Being a dick.
Trying to set the scene, but we got talking about it somehow, and I was like, yeah, it was only on for that one season. They're like, no, it wasn't, and it was on MTV originally. I go, no, it wasn't. It was on like ABC originally, and then MTV picked it up in reruns. No, it was on an MTV first, and it was on
ABC.
Thank you.
It's not even close.
And so I'm talking to these two morons, one of which I'm married to, and one of the other which I like. But they're like, no, it was on for like 5 seasons.
I'm sorry. That's a good joke.
I go, I'm like, no, you're wrong. And they're like, and it was totally one of those moments where they look at you and like, wow, you're totally an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
And you destroyed them.
And then I said, look it up, because I know I'm right. And they looked it up and like, oh, wow, Matt, you're right.
Oh, my God.
It was on ABC first, and it was only on for less than one season. I'm like, thank you. They're like, how'd you know that? Well, I'm like, well, I was older than you guys.
Yeah. Well, your wife and I had a 30-minute argument over the fact that you liked Ferris Bueller and you liked Cameron, that character, a lot. She's like, he's never mentioned it to me. I'm like, trust me, he's a big fan. I was like, we went to college together.
Yeah.
He talked about it a lot. She's like, there's no way. I think you're lying. You're lying. So we went back and forth.
Why would you make that up?
I don't know. I was like, I can't say that you can quote me on a lot of things, but I said, this is one thing that I know for sure that he definitely liked.
Yeah.
And then when she called, she was like, Jermaine says, and you were like, yeah, I do. And I was like, yeah. It's like, hey, never told me that.
It's like the things you have to remember, or you're not a good husband. You didn't mention that you're a fan of Ferris Bueller. Why did you say, oh, crap, I'm so sorry. I guess in the pre-marriage counseling, I should have brought that up.
Oh, man.
Why didn't you tell me that you knew more about My So-Called Life than me?
That is hilarious.
So I guess to answer your question.
My So-Called Life.
That was a long answer.
No, it's fine.
What is one for you?
See, I was trying to think of it. Now, I know this is my question, but I want to throw it back to you because you named something that you watched in the moment when it came out. Do you want to keep it to things that were in the moment or things that you discovered later?
Discovered later? Oh, I don't...
No, because your question was, like, it was my question, but you hit me with something that you watched in the moment.
Right.
Which I thought was amazing that you were able to pull that, because I'm trying to think of something in the moment that I watched and still like that was kind of different.
Right. I'll do another one.
Okay.
just while you're thinking.
You go ahead.
And I honestly don't know how critically acclaimed the show was, because it was batshit crazy, for lack of a better expression. But Chris Elliott had a show called Get a Life.
I watched it too.
I really liked it.
Me too. I was right there with you on that one. When you said it, I was like, I remember that show.
And I think people see it now, or they're like, what the hell is this?
It was like during it, and don't quote me on this, but it was during that time where it was like The Simpsons, Married with Children, there would be some other weird show, and then there was that show. And like the only things that would always stay on that block were like The Simpsons and Married with Children.
Chris Elliott at the time I thought was kind of a genius.
That show was funny.
It was. It was something about, it was a highbrow, stupid humor, and there's really nothing highbrow about it. But it was well done dumb humor as opposed to just bad done dumb humor.
That's amazing for a guy who normally has a bad memory. That's too good. No, I'm not being funny. But normally
I don't remember anything.
I'll say, hey, you remember this? And you're like,
Yes, I don't remember most of my life.
Oh, man.
If I had a better memory, I probably wouldn't be doing this podcast with this guy.
Oh, wow.
Just joking.
Oh, dang.
I'm
still looking.
And I will say this real quickly. Chris Elliott, at the height of his career, also did a movie called Cabin Boy, which is pretty funny, and people hate it. Probably similar to Get a Life, but there you go.
That's so funny.
And Andy Richter had a funny little role in it.
Andy had 2 sitcoms that didn't make it, right?
I want to say it was 3, but maybe 2. And at least one of them was quite good. They were pretty decent, but nobody watched them. I can't remember, they're kind of that's my memory. They're kind of running together right now, but I remember liking especially one of them.
I'm trying to, and I like so many bad things that I should. You shocked me, man. I thought I had stumped you.
And you can't even answer your own question.
I can't, man. It was just embarrassing in its own right. Because I'm struggling to think of something, I would always have to go back to a TV show that you and I both like, but most people make fun of us for liking it, and that was All My Children.
Yeah, well, I started watching All My Children because I would go visit my grandparents.
See, I watched it with my sister, and
yeah.
Then I saw a lady that caught my eye, and I was like, dang, I'd like to get some of that.
Is that Kendall?
Yup.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, everybody.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, who are these Santos sisters?
Oh my gosh. Everybody right now needs to look up All My Children Santos. Maria Santos.
Oh my god.
Who is somewhere on my all-time list of women. She ended up on one of the CSIs.
Miami.
Julia Santos, Sydney Penny. Oh. I can't believe I remember that.
Because we talked about her a lot for some reason. We were like, oh, there's something about her. She's different.
We had a great love affair with Noah. Tragic, star-crossed.
Oh no!
And somebody's coming to the door. We'll pause and get back to the Santos family right after that.
Go, go, go.
So the Santos sisters were awesome, and that's why All My Children was very watchable.
Oh man.
What was your favorite part of the show?
I just told you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, nothing changed from my early answer. That was the main reason I watched it, and I couldn't stop until she was gone. And
Kendall, we have a guest suddenly piping in.
What does our guest want to say? Are we gonna call out our guest for being wrong on my so-called life?
Yeah, she was wrong on a lot of the facts about my so-called life, so that's okay. But yeah, Jermaine liked Sarah Michelle Gellar. And we all were I know we were both talking about her, and everybody was like, who's Sarah Michelle Gellar? And then they knew it for Buffy later, and we were like, oh, you should watch her. You need to watch Buffy because she was in All My Children.
Yeah, we were ahead of the game.
Like usual.
We called it. So she's a star.
And I think it's partly because of us.
What movie was that?
The Dangerous Liaisons, Cruel Intentions. Yeah. It was a dangerous
That's
liaison.
right around the same time, though.
Yeah, it was right around.
No, actually, she was in Buffy. Buffy had already been going when she did that. Well, yeah.
But it was a kind of a remake of Dangerous Liaisons, but done in modern day with high school students. Dangerous Liaisons, 18-year-old Uma Thurman. It's hard to knock that.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I have seen Cruel Intentions, but I hadn't seen Dangerous Liaisons.
I actually like both of them.
Yeah, I like Cruel Intentions. I mean, I own it, so I definitely liked it.
Cool.
I mean, I liked Harvard Man, which was another movie she was in.
Harvard Man.
Oh, he got Matt Bailey.
What? Who else was in that?
The dude from Entourage, the main guy, the one that plays what's his name? That I can't think of his name right now.
See, when you said Harvard Man, I was trying to. For some reason, I thought of that racist movie they made in the 80s.
Soul Man.
Soul Man.
Let's see Thomas out.
Yeah. That's what I thought for a second. I'm not even sure how that movie ever got made.
It was the 80s, man. It's like right up. It's right up. When you think about
the toy, that's like, oh, do you want to watch Soul Man or the toy?
It's right along those lines of stuff you could get away with then, but not now.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because again, I still think like we were talking about TV shows they got on the air then versus now. You got way more stuff on them, way more edgier stuff on network TV that you couldn't get on TV now.
Oh yeah.
Like this is like 70s. My dad and I were watching Sanford and Son the other day, and I was like, how the hell did they get this TV show? How did network TV say okay? Because I mean, I love it, but there are some things on there where you're like, there's no way this TV show makes it on TV today.
I heard that, who's the guy that played the son, or what was his name?
Lamont.
What was it?
Lamont.
I heard, this might be urban legend, but somebody said that Lamont never learned his lines, the actor.
Oh, really?
Like, he always refused, so he was always reading cue cards, and if you watch, I mean, I'd have to go look, but... They were like, watch Sanford and Son and really pay attention to when Lamont talks, because he's not always looking where it makes sense he should be looking.
See, now I can't wait.
Yeah.
Didn't he got a show like that came on right after Sanford and Son, if I'm not mistaken.
I remember.
Now I gotta look it up. Oh man. Oh dude. I still can't think of any other show that would be. And as soon as we finish, I'll be like, oh, and I like this show, and people hated that.
You'll think, definitely.
And we are back. Sorry about the confusion.
My mic's not messing up.
I just think it's one of those weird things that just happens. I kind of panicked and started unplugging stuff. I was like, what is happening? Dude, I can't think of anything. I like some weird, stupid stuff, too.
Any, British shows you ever watch?
I can't do that.
I'm just trying to help you out.
No, well, and people get mad, but I'm like, I like my shows American.
Faulty Towers, though, is really funny.
I did watch, my friend got me to watch a British show that was actually really good. It was called Black Books. Mm-hmm. And it's not racist, asshole, because I can see where your mind is going.
What?
But I mean, that was pretty funny. But I expected to hate it because I don't really care for the British shows.
Yeah.
I find them boring. Oh, I gotta find the name of the show.
Who's in it?
The dude that played Lamont.
Oh.
Yeah, it was called Baby I'm Back. I don't think it was any good, but I remember. And then he was in The New Odd Couple.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I think that was it. I like how the Wikipedia explanation of The New Odd Couple, a revamped black version of the original.
That sounds wrong.
Because it is wrong.
It's like describing that movie almost beating Thor?
Yeah.
How did they say it?
Oh. God. Did they say race? I know it had some.
Theme.
Yeah, race themed comedy almost beats Thor.
And I don't think it had anything to do about race.
No, they just happen to be predominantly black cat. Let's see. Yeah, they said it was race themed.
But is it for race themed?
Pretty much. Oh crap. Some ad.
The 2013 Toyota
for a car.
Yeah, we're not doing an ad for a car till they give us money.
Yeah, screw them. That's why I clicked off of it. Oh man, no, I can't. I was trying to think of TV shows in the last 3 years that I watched that people hated. Yeah, I got nothing. I mean, maybe Workaholic, because it seems like I'm the only one who likes that. But yeah, I don't really know anyone else who likes it.
I liked what I've seen. I've never sat down and watched enough of them.
Yeah. See, I was lucky enough to get a marathon, and I watched one, and then I was like, let me watch another, and then I was like, holy crap, I can't stop laughing. And I mean, it's dumb, but it's dumb funny to me. But yeah, I can't really think of another show that I really like. I got one. Yeah, it took me long enough.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Unmarried.
Who was in that?
Jay Moore.
Okay, yeah. I never really saw it. Maybe half an episode.
2 seasons. I liked it a lot. It got decent ratings, and then they canceled it and made me mad.
Why'd they cancel it?
Because just like it got canceled the same time that The New Adventures of Christine got canceled, which was another show I watched and liked.
Yeah, I like that one.
They both got the same ratings. They did really well. They won their night, but again, CBS said they couldn't see it getting or growing more than it did, so they canceled them.
What about replaced them?
One was S My Dad Says.
Well, that was not a good choice.
And I can't remember what the other show was.
But they didn't do well.
Nah, I know that took one time slot, and then there was another one, and both shows got canceled in the first season. But I mean, that's kind of what CBS does. They will axe a show quickly if they don't see it going anywhere. So that's it sounds like they're gonna give Mom a second season, and if it doesn't go anywhere, it's probably done.
It's just the same stupid jokes that are old and 2.5 Men.
Yeah, it should be better than it is, which is disturbing. That's a good question. It's a really good question when you stump yourself. I mean, you nailed it. Your first answer I thought was phenomenal, and I know as soon as we click off, I'll be like, son of a bitch. Are you talking? Welcome back to Jermaine's Corner, the new edition.
I don't know why. You hear me now, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it'll be the first thing you say on the next podcast.
I'll be like, this and this. Oh, it makes me so mad. I'm like, that was a good one. I can't think of anything. Why? And, I'm one of the few people that will admit they like weird, dumb stuff, especially sitcoms.
Was it Homies from Outer Space? Was that what it's called?
I didn't like it. I was intrigued by the name and the fact that they, a mutual friend of ours, literally, were blown away that it got on air. And, we wanted to meet the executives who thought this was a good idea. Let's launch this new network with this show.
It was made some lists of the most racist shows ever made or just wrong.
Really? Because
what were they thinking?
It was because it was fairly new network. They had some ridiculous shows, and it's a new network. You expect it, but that one was the one where we were like, how? It had another show on that. What was it? It's called First Night. Do you remember that?
First Night.
Where he was a vampire, but he was also a detective. But he only solved cases at nighttime.
Was this show you liked?
Hell no! It's a show that we used to make fun of.
Who was in it?
A good question. I just remember that it was on. Because you were so happy. That was while we were in college. And also, when I was at home, we didn't have cable at the time. So, you were like, new network, new stuff to watch. And it was like, this stinks. So I remember those two awful shows, but they weren't ones that I liked. But of course, this might be the topic of our next podcast, where it's weird movies, weird TV shows, weird music.
Yeah.
And not necessarily weird, but stuff that most people disapprove of.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know, I'll give a tease as far as music wise of a rap group that a teenage Jermaine liked, and everyone in my school was like, "Why do you like those clowns?"
Was who?
The UMC.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. No one knows who they are.
Do you stand by that choice?
I still love them. I still love that one album they put out. And that one song that got a lot of airplay on Rap City called Blue Cheese.
Oh, is that why you love Blue Cheese so much?
No, but I just like that song where they had like this thing that looked like Slimer from the Ghostbusters, but he was made of blue cheese and had a gold tooth flying around in the video. It's a really bad video.
You need to find that one. Wow.
I'll send it to you. But I just remember a friend like the big album out at that time, rap wise, was Ice Cube's second album. I think it was Death Certificate. Don't quote me on that. And everybody was buying Death Certificate, and I bought the UMC. It was like, what?
You were no longer cool.
Oh, I mean, I've always accepted liking slightly weird stuff. I mean, I liked Ice Cube, but everybody had Ice Cube. So I was like, I can burn that from anybody, but I want to get something no one else has.
That's cool.
And I mean, I really liked it, but I also thought, like, you know, why buy an Ice Cube album when I can burn it? And I can buy something that I normally wouldn't buy. And I still like it till this day, no matter how corny it is.
We should open the show with one of their songs next time.
Shoot, Blue Cheese might be our theme song for the next podcast.
I do it.
I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and call this one a night, bottom feeders.
Have a good one, everybody.
Peace out.